Hello, everyone. Welcome to new episode Daily English Podcast 2.0. I'm Jamie.
And I'm Jack.
This is the place where you can learn English naturally, learn English easily, and learn English by listening to stories. If you are new here, don't worry. You don't need strong grammar, you don't need a big vocabulary, you only need patience and daily listening practice.
In this podcast, we use simple English, slow sentences, clear pronunciation, and real-life topics.
English learning tips for beginners before the story. Before we start today's story, here are some easy tips for learning English. 1. Listen first. Don't translate. Try to understand the idea, not every word. 2. Repeat after the speaker. Pause the audio and repeat the sentence loudly. 3. Learn small phrases. For example, let's take a break. I need some fresh air. This place feels peaceful. 4. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Mistakes mean you are learning. 5. Listen every day. Even 10 to 15 minutes is enough. Now relax, take a deep breath, and enjoy today's long story. Beginning. Story starts here. Weekend Getaways, a journey of rest, friendship, and simple joy. A tired Friday evening. It was Friday evening. The sun was slowly going down, and the sky was turning orange and soft pink. Inside a small office in the city, people were packing their bags, shutting down computers, and getting ready to go home. Among them was Daniel. Daniel was a young man in his early 30s. He worked 5 days a week, from morning to evening. This week was very hard. He had many meetings, many emails, many deadlines. His shoulders felt heavy. His mind felt tired. His heart wanted rest. Daniel leaned back in his chair and sighed. He said softly to himself, "I really need a break."
A simple message. As Daniel was leaving the office, his phone buzzed. It was a message from his close friend Emma. The message said, "Hey Daniel, are you free this weekend? Let's go somewhere quiet." Daniel stopped walking. He smiled. He typed back, "Yes, I'm free. I was just thinking the same thing." Emma replied quickly, "Perfect. Let's plan a weekend getaway." A weekend getaway. Just 2 days. Not far, not expensive, just peaceful. Daniel felt lighter already.
Planning the getaway. That night, Daniel and Emma met at a small cafe. The cafe was warm and cozy. Soft music was playing. The smell of coffee filled the air. Emma opened her laptop. She said, "We don't need something fancy. We just need a calm place." Daniel nodded. "Yes," he said, "somewhere with nature, fresh air, no noise." They talked about different options: a small beach town, a quiet mountain village, a countryside cabin. Finally, Emma smiled. "I found it," she said. It was a small lakeside town about 3 hours away. There were trees, a quiet lake, and walking paths. Daniel looked at the pictures. "This looks perfect," he said.
Leaving the city. Early Saturday morning, Daniel and Emma met at the bus station. The city was still waking up. The streets were calm. The air was cool. They carried small backpacks. No heavy luggage, no stress. As the bus started moving, the tall buildings slowly disappeared. Daniel looked out the window.
The noise of the city faded away. Cars became fewer. Trees became more. Emma said softly, "Sometimes we forget how beautiful quiet can be." Daniel smiled and replied, That's why weekend getaways are important. English learning tips for beginners. Short pause. Listener tip. When you hear a sentence like, "Sometimes we forget how beautiful quiet can be," try to repeat it slowly, change it slightly. "Sometimes I forget how important rest can be." This helps your speaking skills. Now, let's continue the story.
Arrival at the lakeside town. After 3 hours, the bus stopped. Daniel and Emma stepped outside. The air felt different. It was fresh, clean, peaceful. In front of them was a calm lake. The water reflected the sky. Birds were flying low. Emma closed her eyes and smiled. "I already feel better," she said. Daniel laughed. "Me too. This place feels like a deep breath." They walked slowly toward their small guest house.
A simple stay. The guest house was small but beautiful. Wooden walls, big windows, a view of the lake. The owner was an elderly woman with a kind smile. She said, "Welcome, please feel at home." Daniel felt something warm in his heart. This place was not luxury, but it was comfortable. They put their bags down and sat near the window. No phones, no emails, just silence.
Walking without time. Later that afternoon, Daniel and Emma went for a walk. They didn't have a plan. They just followed the path near the lake. Their footsteps were slow. Their conversation was light. They talked about life, dreams, small hopes. Daniel said, "In the city, I always rush. Here, I don't want to hurry." Emma nodded. "That's the magic of weekend getaways. They remind us to slow down."
Evening reflections. As evening came, the sky turned golden. Daniel and Emma sat near the lake. They watched the sunset in silence. Daniel thought about his life, work, stress, deadlines. Then he looked at the water, calm, still, quiet. He realized something important. Rest is not laziness. Rest is necessary. English practice moment. Practice sentences. Repeat after me. "I need a break from my busy life." "This place makes me feel calm." Sometimes doing nothing is important. Say them slowly, say them clearly. A quiet night by the lake. The night came slowly. The sky turned blue-dark, and small stars began to appear. Daniel and Emma sat outside the guest house. A soft wind moved the trees. The lake was quiet and still. There was no loud music, no traffic noise, only nature. Emma wrapped her jacket around herself and said, "This silence feels different." Daniel nodded. "Yes," he replied. "It feels safe. It feels honest." They sat without speaking for a while. Sometimes silence is better than words. A quiet night by the lake. The night came slowly. The sky turned dark blue, and small stars began to appear. Daniel and Emma sat outside the guest house. A soft wind moved the trees. The lake was quiet and still. There was no loud music, no traffic noise, only nature. Emma wrapped her jacket around herself and said, "This silence feels different." Daniel nodded. "Yes," he replied. "It feels safe. It feels honest." They sat without speaking for a while. Sometimes silence is better than words.
Later, they prepared a simple dinner. Nothing fancy, just warm soup, bread, and tea. They ate slowly. Daniel said, "When life gets busy, we forget how good simple things can be." Emma smiled. "True," she said. Happiness doesn't always need money. Sometimes it just needs time. They laughed softly. Their hearts felt light.
English learning tip: listening at night. Nighttime listening is powerful. Before sleeping, listen to slow English. Don't look at subtitles. Let the words flow naturally. Your brain learns better when you are relaxed. Now, let's continue.
Late night talk. That night, Daniel and Emma sat near a small lamp. The light was warm. The mood was calm. Emma asked gently, "Are you happy with your life right now?" Daniel thought for a moment. "I am grateful," he said, "but sometimes I feel lost." Emma listened carefully. Daniel continued, "I work hard every day, but I don't always feel alive." Emma nodded. "That's why weekend getaways matter," she said. "They remind us who we are." Daniel felt understood.
Sleep without stress. When it was time to sleep, Daniel lay on the bed and closed his eyes. There were no alarms in his mind, no pressure, only peace. He fell asleep quickly. It was a deep, restful sleep, the kind of sleep everyone needs.
A fresh morning. The next morning, Daniel woke up early. Sunlight came through the window. Birds were singing. He smiled. He felt fresh. He felt new. Emma was already awake. She said, "Good morning. Ready for a slow day?" Daniel laughed. "Very ready."
Morning walk and coffee. They walked to a small cafe near the lake. The cafe was quiet. The owner greeted them kindly. They ordered coffee and sat outside. Daniel took a sip and said, "This tastes better than city coffee." Emma replied, "Everything tastes better when your mind is calm." They watched the water move gently. No rush, no plans, just the moment.
English practice. Morning phrases. Repeat these phrases slowly. I feel fresh this morning. This place makes me feel peaceful. I don't want to rush today. Practice them out loud.
Exploring without pressure. After breakfast, Daniel and Emma explored the town. Small houses, friendly faces, quiet streets. They visited a local market. Fresh fruits, handmade items, warm smiles. Daniel said, "People here seem relaxed." Emma replied, "When life is simple, people smile more." Daniel agreed.
Sitting by the water. Later, they sat by the lake again. Daniel skipped small stones on the water. Emma watched clouds move slowly. Daniel said, "In the city, I forget to notice the sky." Emma smiled. "Nature teaches us patience," she said. Daniel felt calm inside.
Understanding the meaning of getaways. Daniel thought deeply. A weekend getaway is not just travel. It is a pause, a reset, a reminder.
It reminds us to breathe. It reminds us to feel. He realized something important. You don't need far journeys. You just need a change of pace.
English learning tip: thinking in English. Learning tip: try to think in English. For example, I feel calm. This moment is beautiful. I need rest. Don't translate, just feel the sentence.
Preparing to leave. Sunday afternoon came quietly. Daniel and Emma packed their bags. Daniel felt a little sad. Emma said, "We may leave this place, but the feeling stays."
Daniel smiled. "Yes," he said, "I'll carry this calm with me." They thanked the guest house owner and walked toward the bus stop.
The journey back. On the bus ride back, Daniel looked out the window again.
The trees slowly changed back into buildings, but something was different. the city felt less heavy. Emma said softly, "Weekend getaways don't change our life, but they change how we see it." Daniel nodded.
Final reflection. Daniel closed his eyes. He felt grateful for time, for friendship, for rest.
He promised himself something. He would take breaks, he would slow down, he would listen to his heart.
Final English practice. Say these sentences clearly. I need balance in my life. Rest helps me think clearly. Small trips can bring big peace.
G. Thank you, everyone, for listening to today's story, Weekend Getaways, a relaxing story to learn English naturally. I hope you enjoyed this journey with Daniel and Emma, and I hope you felt calm, relaxed, and inspired to take small breaks in your own life. Remember, weekend getaways are not just about travel. They are about rest, reflection, and simple joy.
B. English learning reminders from today. 1. Listen and repeat. Even one sentence a day helps your speaking. 2. Think in English. Try to feel the sentence instead of translating. 3. Use simple phrases in real life, like "I feel calm" or "This moment is beautiful." 4. Take small breaks. Resting your mind helps you learn better.
G. I hope today's story gave you new English words and phrases, practice listening skills, peace and inspiration for your week. Don't forget to subscribe to Daily English Podcast 2.0 so you can enjoy more simple, long, relaxing stories to improve your English every day.
B. Closing words. Take a deep breath, smile, and remember, learning English can be simple, natural, and fun. Until next time, keep listening, keep learning, and keep enjoying life. Goodbye from Daily English Podcast 2.0.